All new timesheet management functionality has arrived in Sybiz Visipay. Accessible from self-service in Sybiz Visipay or the ESS portal, staff can now enter and approve timesheet data directly into their Sybiz Visipay payroll. Timesheet processes can be tailored to suit your unique business needs with easily customizable settings, giving payroll and management staff even more control over an increasingly remote workforce. In another video, we show you how to configure timesheet management in Sybiz Visipay. Today, I'll run through how this looks in Sybiz Employee Self-Service and how to import timesheets for processing pays. Once timesheets are turned on in Sybiz Visipay, accessing them in the ESS portal is easy. In the menu bar, a Timesheets option will appear. I'm logged in as Anita, who's an approval manager, and in the drop-down I've got two options, Employee Timesheets and Approved Timesheets. If I were logged in as an employee without approval management permissions, I would only see Employee Timesheets. Now, let's take a look at Anita's timesheets. Employee Timesheets has jumped to the current week entry, and I can see Anita has completed most of her timesheet for the week, but still needs to update it before she heads home on Friday. I can easily select Anita's pay items from the drop-down. Pay items can be configured for each staff type in Sybiz Visipay. Anita's default department populates automatically as I tab across. I can enter Anita's start and end times, as well as any unpaid breaks. The total quantity adjusts automatically to remove the break time. Anita worked from home last night as well. I can add in another line by clicking New, select a different pay item, and enter in the additional hours against the same day. I can do this multiple times against the same day, using the same or different pay items. As lines can be added, they can also be deleted before they've been processed. Here I have a few options. I can preview, save, or cancel the changes I've just made. If I hit preview, then it will only show me the lines that I've changed or added. I can then save or cancel from there. Now that I've saved my changes, I can flick back and forth to see my previous or future week's timesheets. I can enter timesheets into the future, and I can backdate timesheets between 1 and 4 weeks, depending on how these have been configured in Sybiz Visipay. Next, we'll look at approvals. Because Anita has approval rights and is also allowed to approve her own timesheets, she can approve this from her own employee timesheet area. If she wants to approve her employees' timesheets, however, she'll need to switch views to the Approved Timesheets menu. Here, we can see all timesheets submitted to Anita for approval, including her own that she just approved. I have the option here to approve all submissions at once, so if I decide I want to do that after scrolling through, I can very quickly, then just save and carry on. If I hit approve all by mistake, I can also clear all before saving or cancel the changes. If I want to approve all except maybe 1 or 2, I can click approve all and then go to the individual line and either clear it or reject it, making approvals a nice and easy process for managers. As an approval manager, Anita can also add in hours for her employees. Here I know that Frank did a couple of hours overtime on Thursday, but forgot to log it, so I can add this in on his behalf. Again, from this screen I can preview all of the changes I've made, or I can just go ahead and save them. Now back in Visipay, I can import these timesheets into the payroll for processing. The import option is used to give you control over the date range of timesheet entries you wish to have presented for processing. We can see here the timesheets that have been submitted, and a clear warning will show if we're trying to import timesheets that haven't yet been approved by an approval manager. Once these have been imported, Sybiz Visipay will use the timesheet hours as a base for pays. I can make this import mandatory by selecting the checkbox in timesheet settings, so it needs to be done prior to the pays being processed. Or I can choose to make it optional. If the import required option hasn't been selected, then the timesheets will still automatically be included at the point of processing payroll. But my payroll officer will get a warning if there are any that haven't been approved. I can also enable a warning to tell me if I'm processing pays with timesheets that are still allowed to be entered by my employees. Say if I allow timesheet entry for 3 or 4 weeks. This won't prevent payroll from being processed, but it will enable me to double check anyone that might not have finished. Once payroll has been processed, the timesheets included in that period will no longer be available to edit, but staff will still be able to view them for future reference. As you can see, using Timesheet Management and Sybiz Visipay Employee Self-Service is a piece of cake for employers and their employees. Talk to us here at Sybiz or your authorised business partner about how timesheets could work for your organisation. A licence for Sybiz Visipay Employee Self-Service is required to use the ESS portal and Timesheet Management.